Alright, welcome back everyone. As always, our main reference for this lecture is speedrun.com. You'll find all the code snippets we have covered in this lecture. It covers other topics such as design patterns, loops, object-oriented, and so on. We highly recommend the site for C# developers. In this video, we'll take a look at how to compile and execute our C# application. To display the output of our program, we'll click on debug and start without debugging. The shortcut is Ctrl F5, and voila, we have the output of our program, which is hello world. This black window is called a console application. This application contains similar user interface like MS-DOS or Unix. They do not contain button menus, so we can only display text. Let's close it out. Now let's take a look at how we generated that console window. At the very top, the first line will be importing all the namespace from the .NET framework. In this case, it is the system namespace. Remember that when we import a namespace, we can access all the methods and classes from that namespace. And at line number 2, it is an empty line, so we can have as many empty lines as we need. For example, we can have 10 empty lines. It doesn't matter to the compiler. It is ignored, so we can add as many as we want to make our code more readable. This line, it is the namespace declaration line. So here we can declare the name of the namespace for this current program class. As we have seen previously, a namespace is just a container to organize our classes. Thus we can add other classes inside this container namespace. Now let's take a look at the structure. All the codes between the start and end curly bracket belongs to this namespace, and all of these code between start and end belong to this class, and these code belong to this main method. So in a sense, the main method and the class belongs to the namespace, while the main method also belongs to the class. And this program class was generated for us by the IDE. This is the startup class of the project because it contains the main method. We declare a class using the class keyword and followed by the name of the class. And as we have seen previously, it is common practice to name our class, which is program, and give it the same name as the file, which is program.cs. Now let's take a look at the main method, which is the entry point of every console application. Every line inside these curly brackets will be executed by the compiler. For the time being, don't worry about the static or string. We'll go in more details later on. Note that C# is case sensitive, so if we change the M to lowercase, the compiler will throw an error. Note that C# is case sensitive, so if we change the main to lowercase, the compiler will not find the method and we won't be able to execute our application. So if we type debug and start without debugging, see, the compiler will throw an error saying the program does not contain a static main. So we need the entry point and it needs to be uppercase because C# is case sensitive. So this application will display hello world, and this method will take in the parameter hello world, and this class and method comes from the system namespace. If we comment this line, see, the compiler will throw an error because we cannot access the class because we have disabled the import namespace line. Let's undo that. Note that every single statement needs to end with a semicolon or the compiler will throw an error. As you can see here, it is saying we need to put the semicolon or the program will not be executed. Let's close that out and add our semicolon. Let's test our code again. All right, everything is working perfectly. Let's close that out. Now, there is a way to use the namespace without referencing it at the top. Let's take a look at that. We can type in system.console.writeline. So now if we execute the application, it will work just like before. The problem with this method is that every time we type console.writeline, we need to type the system dot. There will be a lot of code duplication if every line we type system.console.writeline. So by importing at the top, we can just remove all of this. and our application will run just fine. For additional lectures, check out our Udemy courses. The link is in the description box below. Please like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you guys later. Goodbye.